See, I was saying long time no see, everybody, and that's how long it's been. I didn't even have my microphone on. How we doing today, guys? We are back. I know I didn't review Barbie. I didn't review Oppenheimer. I saw TMNT. I saw Blue Beetle. I saw it all. And I didn't review any of them. You know why? Because I just didn't feel like it. There's really no other reason. I've had a lot of work. I have been working like a lot, but I've had time. And I just haven't felt like talking about it. I liked all of those movies. You guys should go see all of those movies, and I'm sure you have, especially Barbie and especially Oppenheimer. I'm sure everyone's seen them, so you don't need me adding to the discourse that they were both good movies. Go see TMNT if you haven't, though. I know I get 30 views, but if one person out of my 30 goes to see TMNT that hadn't, because of me, I've accomplished what I'm doing. Because that movie is great. I loved it so much. But today we are talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. We're back, baby. We're so back. We're back with our trio. We're back in the present day. No more prequels. I love Zero. I love premature death. I love it all. But we are back progressing the story with the Shibuya incident. Oh my gosh. I've heard about this thing for so long. Like, it is so hard, and I know manga readers, they're elitist, I get it. I want to read all the mangas of the animes I'm watching. I'm going to go read Attack on Titan as soon as it's over. I'm going to read Jujutsu Kaisen as soon as it's over, and Demon Slayer. I have been reading One Punch Man, even though I didn't think it was coming back, but it's coming back, so I know everything that's going to happen. But I don't care, I'm fine with that. But just, I get it. Like, I know, I don't know what's coming, but I've just been hearing about how crazy this arc is, and the fact that we're getting it for 3 months, like 18 episodes, like, so we got 17 weeks left after this is insane. I know people are gonna die. I know things are gonna is gonna hit the fan. I don't know who's gonna hit the fan. I don't know who's gonna die. Please don't spoil it for me in the comments. I'm an anime only, and this anime means so much to me, guys. Hey, kitty cat. So let's talk about this episode, guys, because I thought this was, was it slow? Absolutely. That's fine. Like, the first half of this episode is literally just getting reacquainted with our triplets. I'm just going to call them the triplets because I love them so much. And it's just getting reacquainted with them, like Yuji being Yuji, going to see Human Earthworm 4, R.I.P. Junpei, that reminded me of him so much. Nobata just wanting to shop, Fushiguro just going off with the teacher, being like, I don't even want to hang out with you guys, honestly. And then we get someone from Yuji's past, Yoko, who was a classmate of his 6 months ago. We forget that only I know it's been 3 years. Has it been 3 years, 2 years since we had season 1? I honestly don't know. I feel like it was 2020. Maybe it was 2021 when it finally ended. It feels like so long. But it feels so long for us, but it's only been 6 months in, like, actual anime time. So we get her from his past, goes up to Nobata Kukisaki and says, like, hey, do you know him? Like, we were classmates. I'm kind of into him. And I have this picture. I was going to Google this and show it to you guys, but I'm so afraid of just, like, typing in anyone's name and, like, you know, Google autofilling whatever it's going to autofill. Like, it's happened before. I can't remember who it was because I don't want to spoil any other anime, but I remember I typed in so-and-so's name, and after it was death, or a like ending, or rebirth, or reincarnation, or so-and-so fights so-and-so. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with Nobata, and I don't want to. I don't want to know anything. So I just took this really bad screenshot with my phone. Look, this show is so goofy. This show is so absolutely goofy when it wants to be, and I love that. It is so funny when it wants to be, and just, like, knowing where we're going, or, like, just the general overtone of this whole season is going to be pretty devastating. Like, the fact that it's still just like, oh no, we're gonna be goofy when we want to, and then, like, it's like that. It's so great. I love it so much. Like, even, you know, I did like a rewatch of season 1 before this, and even after Yuji dies and we go into his soul with Sukuna and him, like, their fight when he, like, does, like, a serious kick, and then he just, like, oh, you're so boring, and Sukuna just kicks him. It has no right to be funny in that moment, but it is, and that's how this is. It's so good. The show is so perfect. Like, I know it's It's one of the most popular animes. I'm not unique in saying this. I don't care. I don't need to watch independent anime for me to be cool or like my opinion valid. It doesn't matter. I love what I love, and this is one of them. This show is so good. Toto and Mei recommend. It's Yuji, Nobara, Fushiguro, Panda, and Maki, all for class 1. Poor Inumaki, we love you. You'll get there. But they go play ping pong, and Toto's like, don't worry. I know, since I recommended him, like, we can't go on every mission together, but he'll be grade 1 by in no time at all, and we'll be like going on missions. And Mei goes, actually, you won't. Like, you're not allowed to go on missions with the person you recommended. And I don't know if that's for while he's semi grade 1, you know, going for grade 1, or just like in general, like. And it's just like the look on his face again, like the facial expressions in this show, the animation is so good. And honestly, I wrote down Mei saying Mr. Toto has me feeling some kind of way, and that's very, very true. She's just too hot. She's just too hot. Then we go into I think like I went out of order, like, but we go into the intro. And I want to talk about the intro. Are there a little bit of spoilers in there? We see Mahito like killing everybody on the train. We see people fighting. You know, there's typical anime opening spoilers. You know, you watch the first one didn't really have many spoilers, but like, you know, you see in the second one, you see starts not Mahito, who I hate. Hanami. Is that their name? Yes, right? Hanami Jujutsu? Yes, Hanami plant curse. You see them like them fighting and stuff like that. So like, you know, typical, you know, we've seen spoilers in you know, in the Attack on Titan Return to Shiganshina, like there's definitely spoilers of like what's gonna happen. And so I love a good opening, but sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe you should skip it. This one seems to be okay. Who knows? I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong. But I remember saying that like, oh, I loved, you know, Premature Death arc, like that opening. It's like super poppy, and like I finally read the lyrics in English, and it's just like so heartbreaking. So it's so good, and I was like, oh, you never know, because, you know, after Junpei dies, you go, it's like, okay, you never know with anime, but just like they set the tone so well. Everyone just slowly walking to Shibuya, all the enemies there, all the insanity that's going to happen with Jogo and Hanami and Chozo, and all of them, like, is crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and it's so hard for something to live up to the hype that this is living up to. And granted, we're only in episode 1, part 1 of episode 1, and it's already like we're at the intro, and I'm already just like gripping my seat. And so, you know, there's not much to talk about in this first part, but just how good of a boy Itadori Yuji is. He's just got a heart of gold, and he wasn't like Nobara and Fushiguro. Like, they were born with this gift, curse, whatever you want to say, of being able to see cursed energy. I wonder what else you do in this world if you can see cursed energy and you don't want to be a sorcerer. Like, what do you do? I don't know. But they knew what they were signing up for. And in typical shonen fashion, in most cases, like our lead hero doesn't know what he's signing up for. He's like our audience conduit of like, hey, let's learn about this world. Let's learn about the Demon Slayer world. Let's learn about, you know, the hero world. But in this one, he just doesn't deserve anything that's going to happen to him. And I just feel like a lot is going to happen to him. And speaking of which, like him and Yuko catch up, and then they go their separate ways, and like they linger on Yuko a little bit too much for my liking, and I'm very scared of what's going to happen to that poor girl, because it reminds me of, like, you know, his classmate in the Supernatural Club, where she was traumatized, and like his guy friend in that club was like in a coma. And I think Choco had to probably, you know, heal him with reverse cursed energy or something, because he was, you know, obliterated by those curses that were going after Sukuna's finger. So that's the first part of the episode, and I'm fine with that. I really am. Do I want to get into crazy action off the? Of course I do. But I love like we're back, baby. We're back. And I love that. And I love spending like 10 out of our 20 minutes just saying like, we're back. And then we get into like right back into it. Like, hey, we know who the mole is. And I thought, you know, they showed Utahime, and I was like, oh no, she's not the mole, is she? No, my precious girl. And she's not. And then they're like, oh, so who's the mole? It's got to be someone in Kyoto because you're asking us Tokyo students to do this. And Miwa pops in, and you're like, no, it's not Miwa. It's Mekamaru. And Miwa, I said this, I tried to do like a trailer reaction to the trailer of Shibuya, and I was like, it's not, you know, I'm not saying what I need to say, so I just canceled it. It was fine. But Miwa's legit, because there's a moment, and I don't know the arrow guy's name from Kyoto School. I don't know it. Someone can tell me in the comments. Actually, I got Google right here. Arrow guy, JJK. Naritoshi Kamo. I'm just going to call him Kamo. He says, as he's running away from Hanami, he's like, I want to get back to Todo, or at the very least, Miwa. And in that moment, I was very confused. I'm like, it feels like he'd say like Mekamaru, because like, you know, he gave Panda a good fight. You know, he has got some crazy cannons. He doesn't know that he's been knocked out or anything. But Miwa got her butt kicked by Maki, like didn't even land a hit on Maki. So I was wondering, I was like, that's so strange. So Miwa's got to have some goods, that like some fighting skill. And granted, Maki's like, again, grade 1, so you know Miwa might not be on that level, but Miwa's got the sauce, is what I'm saying. She's got to have some sauce that we don't know about, and I saw her in the trailer, and she's gonna wreck some shop. I've got a feeling, and I swear to God, if anything happens to her, I don't really care too much about the Kyoto class. Todo, I want to see him and Itadori, like, you know, full on freaking MJ and Pippin for the rest of their careers as sorcerers. But, you know, Kamo, don't really care about. Maki's sister, definitely not. Broomstick girl, Mekamaru's the traitor, even though I understand why he did it. I don't think I'm missing anybody. But yeah, just Miwa's the only one I'm just like, you better not, Jujutsu. And that's probably why something's going to happen to her, unfortunately, and I hate anime sometimes just for that reason. But the look on Utahime's face when she realized, like, they do the classic, like, Mech gets up and like, oh, they're here, but he's talking about Geto and Mahito. And like the classic switch of like, oh, they're opening a door, but it's the wrong door. I'm always a fan of that. But the look on her face when she realizes like, okay, he's not here, so that definitely means he's the mole, is definitely heartbreaking. And then we get like kind of talk about like Mahito. Oh, man, I wrote on my notes, I forgot how much I hated Mahito. Wait, no, I didn't. I just hate him that much. And that's how it is. Like, Geto was such an understandable villain in both Zero. Zero, not really understandable. He's just like, oh, I hate monkeys, you know, non-sorcerer people. So I want to kill them all, and I'm going to kill our precious Ukotsu. But, like, you really got to know, like, what happened in Premature Death. And you're like, oh my gosh, my poor boy, what he's gone through. So, like, you can at least understand, if not, definitely not condone what he's doing. But Mahito's just like, it's such a good villain because he's just pure, he's chaos imbued. Like, he's chaos and malice. He's a curse. He's a literal curse. So of course he's going to be awful. And I hate him. I want him to die the most horrible death, worst, just like suffer. But they have made a pact that Mech would give them info, and then Mahito would heal Mech back to his, you know, full body, because he's got, like, you know, all the illnesses and sicknesses. He's in, like, you know, a stasis tub for his entire life, and he's got a heavenly pact allowing him to, like, make puppets out of everything. I didn't realize how strong it was. But they've got a pact that, like, Mahito's like, can't we just kill him right now? He's given us all the information we need. And Geijo says, no, if you make a pact with someone, you have to honor it because you don't know what the consequences are going to be. Depending on what the pact is, the consequence for breaking that pact can be severe. And so they're like, okay. And like, I do like that Mech is smart enough to be like, yeah, they're going to heal me. But as soon as they fulfill their side of the bargain and the pact is complete for their side, they're going to kill me. And so he's not like, whoa, you betrayed me, you evil curse user and you evil curse. Oh my gosh. I like that he's ready for it. Like he knows, like, hey, thanks, hurry up and heal me. You can't do anything to me right now. Hurry up and heal me. Let's get this over with and then we'll fight. And he just brings out the freaking Pacific Rim Gundam style, all this stuff. And like, you know, he's got a bunch of regular bots, a bunch of Iron Man bots he throws at him, easily dispatched by Mahito. And then he's got his freaking Pacific Rim Gypsy Danger that he's going to go to town with. And that's where we end the episode. And it's like, there's no way Mahito dies to Mechamaru, because that's just like bad storytelling. Like, a C character is not going to be killed. Is not going to kill the A-list villain. That's just not going to happen. That's not how stories work. So I hate that because, like, I want, not that I condone what Mechamaru did, but I'm just like, he needs to get to Gojo to tell him about Shibuya, and that's what his goal is. But Geto, you know, throws down a veil so he can't call or can't get out until he kills both of them, which is not going to happen. He's not going to kill both of them. Probably not either one, but he's definitely not going to go kill both of them. Which is unfortunate. And I do wonder, it made me think because, like, Geito's like, do you want me to help? And he's like, no, you know, Mahito's like, he's like a kid, an evil, like, sadistic, malicious kid. He's like, no, I want to play with my toy. And I wonder how powerful Geito is now. Like, we still don't know how he came back to life. He's got, like, the Frankenstein's monster scar over his head, so, you know, maybe he got, like, a brain transplant or something like that. But I don't know how he's alive. But like, can he still manipulate curses? Can he do all the things we saw him kick ass with in Premature Death? I don't know. I'm very curious. You know, he kicked a lot of ass in Zero too, so I'm really curious of like what his abilities are now. But that's the end of the episode, guys. You know, I'm trying to keep these under 20 minutes, and I'm sure when more stuff happens, and I get traumatized, I'll be sitting here in like just silence, trying to gather my thoughts. But really enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys did too. I love the reintroduction. It was a perfect half and half. Like, they're like, hey, we're gonna spend 10 minutes getting you reacquainted with your favorite people, but after that, we're going just pedal to the metal, 0 to 60. We're right back in it. Here's a giant mech, and that's perfect. It's exactly what I need. Half character stuff, half crazy action, and I'm about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please no manga spoilers in the comments. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Bye-bye.